You are tuning into
Hey everyone, we're once again unmuted and back with another episode. I can't believe that we're in the 10th episode already. Like, time flies really fast, and I've been repeating that for like every episode. Like in our last episode with Miss Reese, where we discuss about stepping out of our comfort zone and that we all have our fortes and or an activity that we're good at, which is sometimes is meant for us in the long run. If you haven't watched our last episode, go check out our social media platforms to watch You Beyond the Numbers with Miss Reese Lansangan. Rafa, Reese, do you guys remember how I messaged you about the host positions here at Enderun Unmuted? Were you guys
no.
that was unexpected? I'm sure.
I remember when she messaging me out of the blue during the summer break. Like she was asking if I'm interested in hosting for Enderun Unmuted. And when she messaged, I replied like 1, 2 hours later because I think I was playing Valorant at that time. So I remember reading her message. I was like, gee, let's do this. It's gonna be fun. And
That was our
like
first
I
conversation.
know that was the first conversation me and Wednesday ever had. And looking back now, I wasn't wrong. It's been a hell of fun so far. What
I
about you,
know.
Reese?
Okay, roads. Okay, sorry. Other than that, I couldn't agree more with Rafa. This is probably one of the funnest. Funnest is that even grammatically correct? Anyways, even if it isn't grammatically correct, this is probably one of the quote unquote funnest things I've ever done as an extracurricular. And same with Wednesday, same with Rafa. I actually never had a proper, I guess, conversation with Wednesday other than like school related questions. And by school, like that was when Wency was asking about, hey, what do you have to do here? Because Wency was fairly new in the second sem. And so seeing her message was a bit of a surprise for me. Well, more than a bit. It was definitely a surprise for me because one, we weren't that close. And I don't know like why she thought in the first place it would be a good idea to invite me as a host because based on the previous episodes, you guys can tell how much I hate them. I hate this family. I'm so sorry. I'm kidding. I love you guys. But yeah, it's a good memory, I guess you could say, because that again also happened over the summer, and Wednesday just disturbed
Yeah.
our
Yeah,
peaceful
I
summer.
agree.
Hold a grudge.
Aren't you guys curious if we're the first choice? Char, you are actually the first choice. Like I couldn't think of anyone suitable other than you guys, honestly. It's
Are you
true.
sure? Are you sure about that?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
completely, 100% sure.
Here's the real question though: did you message me or Rafa first?
Okay. It's Reese. Actually, guys, it's none of you. It's Helena. Helena was the
Whoa.
first person I messaged, and then it became the four of us. And then next was Reese, and then I messaged
Why
Rafa, and
was
then
I last?
Okay, this is all that matters. All that matters is that I'm higher than Rafa.
I'm walking
We
out.
just
Why am I last? No, that's
because
okay,
you
bye, Rafa.
saved the best for the last, Rafa.
you see, you hear that,
Got you
Reese?
Oh, you
there.
don't. Wency, you don't need to coddle Rafa. He's man enough.
Okay, okay.
I'm
He's
kidding.
all
I love
yours.
you, Rafa. I'm kidding, Rafa. I love you.
Best for last. It's okay. I already heard it. Best for last though. I'm actually really excited to have our guest here today. It doesn't feel too long ago since we had our Enderun Unmuted
Yes.
team building. Anyway, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, today's guests are the ones who made this podcast possible. Let's all welcome the Enderun Unmuted founders, Irvin, Kyla, Jacob, Bea, Ishi, and Chloe.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hi guys, thank you for having us
Hi
here.
guys.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
How have you been doing ever since after like a long time? Like the last time we saw each other was the icebreaker. Sorry, like the team
Team
building, right?
building, yeah.
As you mentioned by Rafa.
When
That was
was
like
How have
that
you
again,
been
guys?
way
doing?
September, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Wow. So it's been almost half a year, I
Yeah,
guess.
well,
I'm trying to remember
college.
when that was.
How does it
College
Oh
feel?
yeah,
happened.
college.
A
How does
lot of
it
Seriously.
things
feel
Oh,
being
happened
back?
and changed too, I
Yeah.
think, with all of us.
How
Especially
does
with
it
Can you
feel?
me.
can you see our sunken
to be
eyes?
back.
Or
Yes,
How
to
does
be
it
back
Um,
feel
here.
to be back?
Well, to be back, I mean,
for
I
me,
go ahead, Jacob.
sorry, Rin.
go
Just
Jacob.
like
I
just
was saying
last
I was
time,
actually
just
pretty
like last time,
nervous.
Jacob.
The energy that we are emitting right now is chaos. I love it.
It's just like us. It's just like us behind the screen.
We're so.
As
Go,
you were
Jacob.
saying, Jacob,
I think Kuya Jacob wants to take over.
I think he's lagging.
Is
Wait for him a bit.
Sorry,
it his
Let's give him a bit.
I
internet?
was lagging. I don't know what happened.
Okay, you were
No,
saying
go.
something, Jacob.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear it? Okay, I
No.
was just saying, I was really nervous, actually. Well, not really nervous. Issue was more scared than I was. I was just a little nervous.
Wow. Thanks.
Doing it again. How about you guys?
Well,
You guys, as
for
in.
me. Okay, should I go to? I think Kyle wants to go next. Kyle,
No,
go.
Irvin,
This
go.
is like last time, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, for me, I think like what Rafa said, I was stoked at first, but like I felt the same. I don't know. I'm not nervous, but like it felt the same way we felt. I mean, I felt when we had our first episode back then. Because I don't know, it's been a while since we really talked like this, in Discord too and stuff. So really fun to be here again, guys.
We grew apart, is what he's saying. I'm just kidding, that's not true. We're closer than ever.
No, we did grow apart. I haven't seen Irvin in like 6 months. He cut his hair, grew back. Like, I
See,
don't
I see Kyle and Irvin like every day.
Yeah.
Separately. They're basically my parents.
Are you really bringing that joke back?
It's not a joke. Why is it a joke to you?
It's a joke to me.
Anyway, Kyle doesn't want to accept me. How about you, Chloe?
Kyle was about to say something actually, but okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
See, Jacob, what is
Yeah.
this?
Wait, sorry to all the listeners. We're really just like this. And to you guys.
Yeah. Sorry, we've been out of practice, but like Irvin said, it's nice. Is it nice being back? Yeah, it's nice being back. Because, the setup, I just haven't done this in a while. So, and it's late for me. I sleep at this time, but it's fine. I'm glad to be back. Anyway, Chloe, go ahead.
Anyways, it's just same as everyone. I'm really happy to see everyone together, especially. It has been a while, but yes, I'm overall nervous but excited. Sorry, I haven't spoken to a lot of people, especially this much people in a while, so forgive me.
Okay.
Anyways,
I think,
Ishibea.
or at issue.
Well, I feel pretty nostalgic. Well, I've actually never been on camera, but like seeing the setup and everything, I don't know, I kind of miss it. So yeah, happy to be here.
Well, for me, I'm very excited. I'm kind of tired right now. I had a very long
I
exam
think we
a
all
while ago.
are tired.
Hashtag college. But other than that, I'm really excited to be here because it's my second time being a guest here. So, love that. I'm happy to see everyone.
It's really really great to have you guys back here. We're also really happy to see you. So to kickstart this episode, we've prepared a short icebreaker for you guys. So Reese, would you care to explain the
Heart.
mechanic?
Oh my gosh, Rafa, you really, really like me. Why are you always saying
Don't.
my name? Really? I know, right? It rolls off the tongue just
Oh
nicely.
God, I feel left out again. Okay, let's start.
Anyways, going back to the actual mechanics. First we'll be playing who's more likely to. Yes, these air quotes are necessary. So we'll be asking who's more inclined to do something and who's less inclined, of course, to do something. And the guests, or you guys, the old unmuted team, you guys are tasked with choosing one of their co-founders. And the catch is whether it's a negative or a positive connotation, whether it's bad or good, you guys have to elaborate their choices in 3 words or less. And if it is still confusing, rest assured we will be having a sample because everything is really confusing right now. And of course, me, the game masters, the current host, will have to monitor the words and ensure everything is still family friendly, will still respectful. We're PG-13 and everything. So, yeah. All right, I'll be starting off with a sample. So, among the hosts, the current hosts, who is
Okay.
more likely to lag during segment?
3, 2, 1. Mir.
Wensi,
It's Mir. It's Mir.
Wensi
No,
for
wait. I
sure.
have a good internet in Saudi Arabia, Rafa. So it's not me. Actually, it's Rafa. Actually,
No,
it's not.
it's not me. It was you.
Wensi, we literally
No.
probably have a whole folder of you,
We
like
have a you guys. We have a
Oh
whole
yeah, I
scrapbook of Wensi.
remember. Oh yeah. Okay, it was me. I admit it was me. Okay, so actually to start, is the game clear to everyone here? Yes? Okay, I think we
Yeah.
can start with the first.
Sure.
Now, who's less likely to talk during a podcast recording?
Huh.
3,
Less likely?
2, yes,
Less
less
likely.
likely
Less
to talk
like
during a podcast recording. 1, 2, 3.
Is she?
Is she?
issue.
Is she?
Why?
Sorry.
Why is it I
Okay.
issue?
Oh, she
Oh,
actually
she
just left.
She
disappeared.
disappeared.
Selected
I
Okay, I
had
answers.
it
think
with
that
you guys.
explains it.
Now that's why.
I think
Does
that
everyone
explains.
have to explain?
Yeah, all like one can explain in 3
3
words or
words.
less.
3 words. That's sorry, but I
Right,
don't know.
Irvin.
Ishi has been always been at
All right,
the
that's 3 words.
More
And
than
More
three
than 3
words.
fine, fine.
Eggs.
No, but Ishi has always been in the. She's been playing in the background always. Like, do you see the layout that we have right now with the video? That was all her work back then. So she.
Aw,
Yes,
how sweet of
but
Irvin to focus on the
she's very humble
positives.
too and very Ishi. I think you
Okay.
can.
Ishi is the descriptor.
What is she? Do you want to say something, Ishi? Or no? I'm
You
kidding.
want to defend yourself?
Well, I was lagging, so I don't know what we're talking about, but
Okay,
We're
next
talking about you.
statement.
Next question.
Not
Okay,
gonna find
so
out.
let's move on to the next question. For this next question, who's more likely to hog screen time?
3, 2, 1.
Irvin.
Kyla.
Irvin?
yeah, Urban.
It's
I'm
either
so
me or
sorry,
Irvin,
Irvin.
Irvin.
I'm hearing a lot of Irvins.
Why
Me
me?
too.
Yeah, me too. It's Kuya
Yeah.
Irvin. Why is it
Okay,
Kuya
let's
Irvin?
Why?
Can you explain?
Why is it Kuya Irvin?
Kyla?
Me?
Yeah,
I'll explain. Well, I think
yeah.
okay
Yes, Kyla.
because he always talks over us. No, I'm kidding. No.
I mean, just to
Kyla,
keep
this is
the
gonna get
show
posted.
going, right? Okay, go.
No,
We're not
because
following the 3-word rule. Okay.
oh
I like how we completely ignore
no,
that.
okay.
We will ignore that. Sorry, Reese. Kidding.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, we'll ignore that. But he is the founder, so he started and like ended a lot of the podcasts, and so me and Jacob, we kind of just were like, okay, it's fine, let's give him this. I'm kidding, that's not what happened. But more likely, I would be
I think it was. I think it
he
was
is
Kyla back then. I don't know.
like
Ugh,
the main.
here they go again fighting. We better move on to the next.
I see that there was a very hot take. I guess something a really spicy take in myself. So the
Spicy.
third. Sorry, I like the term spicy because I'm spicy.
So you're basically the Jacob. Okay, we get that now.
Yeah.
I can see that.
We're the best hosts. Don't worry. We're the best out of the trio. All right. Speaking of trio, this is the third. Who's more likely to? Who's less likely to rather? Who's less likely to be the guest's favorite? Now I'm gonna start the countdown. You guys better have your answers ready. 3, 2, 1.
No one.
No.
Wait.
No,
I doubt that.
Okay, we talked about this a while ago, and Jacob said it was Kyla.
Hey,
But I think
Why
it's either
was
me or.
it me?
But
Irvin
it can't be.
agreed.
It can't be Jacob. I think. That's my only thing. Like it can't be.
I
Jacob.
feel like I look like a child, so it's hard for people to dislike me.
We can ask.
Okay, fine. Let's say it's
Chloe,
either Irvin or
Ishi,
Kyla.
or Bea.
Okay, fine. Either Irvin or Kyla.
Let's
Why-
ask
why-
like Chloe, Ishi, or Bea.
Yeah, not
What do you think?
Sorry, I'm lagging.
Okay,
I
What
like
do you
to
think?
drop a name.
No one from the three of us because we are the best in the West.
What is the final verdict? What is before I dropped? What is this hand gesture?
Okay, how about you guys? Like, you guys. What do you
Me.
think?
I admit it's probably me.
No, from like them.
From
Okay,
us,
we know
Reese.
Reese. We already
Who
know
are you
that,
This
but
voting
is
from
for?
about
us.
us right now. We're the guests.
It's not about you, Reese.
Can
It's
you?
not
Okay,
about
now I
you,
hate
Reese.
you, Reese.
That,
Now I
that
hate
would
you.
be the least favorite one.
Now that's why. Okay.
I think we're gonna do the next question because like most of us can pick anyone from this question. Okay, next question. Who's less likely to be on time for recording and meetings? Three, two, one.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Irvin.
Irvin. It's gonna be Irvin.
Wait, what again?
Irvin.
Irvin? Isn't Irvin always late?
Oh,
No.
yeah, who's
No.
less likely
I'm
to be
always
on
Late?
late.
Oh,
time?
okay. I'm sorry.
I was
Okay, it is
literally
Irvin then.
on time.
Comprehension, Jacob.
I'm sorry, I lagged, but it is Irvin.
Am I
Yeah.
Irvin's like
always?
the
I
last
mean,
one who
I'm
showed up today.
See, I
on
was the first
purpose.
one.
On purpose. But like, yeah, I always set up the
No.
recording and stuff. I think it's Kyla.
There was nothing in the mechanics that said you can defend yourself.
Okay, fine.
So
Fine.
what is the
Okay,
final verdict from the
Fine.
jury?
Irvin.
I guess.
Irvin.
I guess. I guess. I guess. Okay.
What do you mean? I
Irvin.
guess.
I guess.
Irvin just loves to, be fashionably late.
Okay, so I was group mates with Irvin for our macro presentation.
Ooh, it's
Oh,
getting
this is
personal.
getting personal.
Okay, what are we doing, Kyla? What are we doing, Kyla?
The 3 words just went out the window.
What are
I
we
know,
doing here,
right? It doesn't
Kyla?
exist anymore.
They have so much to say. I
Okay,
love
let's
it.
move on.
What are we
Let's
Okay,
doing?
move
let's
on.
go. Let's go to the next question. Okay, who's more likely to stutter during recordings and request a retake?
Hmm.
3, 2, 1.
Chloe?
What the hell?
She's not a host.
I'm not a
Among the
host.
hosts, this is
Oh,
amongst the
did they
hosts.
say host?
Amongst
Oh.
Yeah, host.
Yeah, I feel like it's the host
I
thing.
I don't know.
No
Me?
one's
Not
stuttering.
a host.
Not
I think
I mean, I don't
Do you
remember anyone
remember,
really
guys?
stuttering, but I would think that I would stutter.
But you don't
Who has
stutter.
the most outtakes?
Thanks.
Kyla.
Irvin.
Actually,
I also don't know.
yeah. I don't know.
Oh,
What?
And
Sorry, I
she was
didn't hear
saying
you. She
something
was saying
about the
something.
team, Irvin.
Because Urban
Me?
is lagging, so a lot of like the edits are with you.
I think it's a podcast head thing because Wency is constantly lagging.
Yeah,
That is
I also
true.
like.
True. We always have to adjust for his lagging.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They also have to adjust
One
for me because
One time he forgot to record the audio
Oh,
of one of our
we're gonna get
podcasts.
into that later. I think that's a
yeah,
story for
we'll get
later.
into
Oh my
detail.
god.
The whole podcast half, not just a section.
Kyla, you know what
not
later
just the
means?
intro.
You know what later means, Kyla?
Too good to wait.
They have so much to say. I'm living for everything right now. All
All
right. I will take this moment to read the next question.
Okay.
Okay.
Who is more likely to be a team player and console the group when things go wrong? So this is kind of a little senti, not really senti, but senti, I guess. Question
Everyone's
mark.
included here, right?
Yeah, everyone. This goes for everyone.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
Chloe.
Chloe. Chloe.
Chloe. Sorry, what was it? Who's
Why
copying
is it added
answers?
Chloe?
Chloe.
It's Chloe.
I think
Why?
Chloe is.
For once they agreed on one person.
Yeah,
Chloe
she
is
disagreed.
nicer.
She's
She's
nice.
nicer. Out of
Yeah,
everyone,
Chloe is, I
she's
think,
nice.
the nicest.
Yeah.
Not to say that everyone
Not
else
to
isn't
say that
mean,
she's nice,
but Chloe
she's
has a
the
very
nicest.
peaceful vibe. I don't know. You just feel like you can tell her anything.
Her patience is long.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Chloe.
I'm taking
That's
up all
true.
And
of these
her
compliments
voice
right
is
now.
like,
Yeah, her
"Are
voice
you
is like,
okay?" Something like that.
Hey!
No.
See?
Jacob! There's like, Jacob, are you okay? There's like a Minnie Mouse aspect to it.
Yeah, at least Chloe got
that's
the nice.
calming, apparently.
So it's at the Chloe, the team player. Now, guys, the next question is who's more likely to invite their celebrity crush in the podcast? It's Reese for us. It's Reese for us. But what about the Enderun Unmuted founders? In 3, 2, 1.
Bea.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I already know who she's
Oh,
gonna bring.
who's the celebrity crush? Who's that a celebrity crush?
Is she
Chris
bringing her?
Evans.
So many.
I only have two so far. See, I'm a changed person. I have only two.
So far.
So far, I have two. Like
So
last
far.
week, I think there were like 10, but now it's two.
Yeah,
So,
and you remember like
Last
the intro
week-
vid we made?
oh
She's-
yeah, the intro.
I love Chris Evans.
I love Chris Evans.
Right.
She
So
loves Chris Evans.
I
Bea.
really do.
It's just like Reese is Peter Parker. What was it?
Tom Holland.
Come on.
Peter Parker.
Sorry,
Oh.
Peter Parker is in my mind.
All of them.
Peter Parker, why is he in my mind?
Basically, that's my Enderun personality. Tom Holland and talking way too much.
Oh, same. But mine's Chris Evans and talking way too much.
At least you guys agreed on another person. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, this is for the hosts, amongst the hosts. Okay, who's more likely to save someone through improv?
3, 2, 1.
One.
Irvin.
Kyla?
Irvin.
It's me.
No, it's not Kyla. We
It's
usually
not Kyla.
to
Excuse
save
me.
someone,
Yeah,
Try
who's
to
more
remember.
likely?
we save you.
We all save
No,
each other.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
save
choose-
you.
No,
I
okay, actually,
save
I should answer.
you.
It is Irvin. It is Irvin.
Kyla.
I'm sorry, he just
Okay.
does it more because he has to do it more. Because sometimes both of
Oh, well.
us,
But like
Fine.
sometimes both
I
of
think-
us kind of die.
save each other.
Fine.
I think it's
We-
all of them.
Because we kind of
There is
rely on
you.
Irvin most of the time, honestly. But
Period. They said
I think we all do it.
Teamwork, yeah. I
It's
think
because
all of
he.
them.
It's because he hated having a script. He hated having a script, so he wanted to
Kyla.
improv
Kyla,
everything.
stop getting mad.
I think this episode should be
I'm
called
not.
a rant session. And
Rant
then
Session with Kyla. Kidding. Okay, proceed.
Alright. Okay.
I'm loving these
I think,
questions.
we've settled that. It's safe. Hopefully, it's safe to move on to the next question. So this goes for everyone again. So this can just be for recording, or it can be just for meetings, or in general. Who is less likely to show up with messy hair? Again, who is less likely? So someone who is always put together. 3, 2, 1.
Chloe.
Chloe.
Jacob. Jacob or
That's
Chloe?
Jacob.
Why is it added
Oh,
Chloe? I can hear a lot
I
of
forgot the
Chloe.
question.
It's Jacob or Chloe.
basically who's
Put
fixed,
together.
Jacob.
Almost put together.
Yes.
The most put together, basically.
Is that Kyla?
For me, it's Jacob.
I think, to be honest, no one.
We take offense to that, Irvin. Kyla and I put a lot of effort into looking proper for recordings. Irvin just puts on a hoodie. Now it's my turn to rant about Irvin. Irvin just throws on a hoodie, turns on his red lights, calls it a day.
Red lights for Enderun Unmuted.
It literally reminds me of how Rafa just turns on his light and
Why
light,
the
and then
attack?
turns on flame.
Why the
Hey,
attack?
okay.
Isn't on
At
theme.
all.
Wait. In my defense, I set up all the video stuff and layout, so like
Yeah.
you know, I spend more time on myself. So
Wow.
just saying.
Is that why you're late
Okay.
too?
No, print right. It's
Okay,
really
we need
hard,
to move
Prin.
on. This is gonna get heated
It's gonna
again.
get hostile.
It's an acceptable explanation. Now let's move on to the last, but not the least.
Kidding.
Aw.
And I think this can go to everyone. Okay, so who's more likely to make hosting or their job in the podcast a career? 3, 2, 1.
Urban.
Irvin.
We're Irvin.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
I was gonna say she has a
was-
joke, but that's just mean.
I mean, if she
I
can,
don't know
do
if I
it,
can
too,
be offended
like she's already cooking, so like.
Well, we all know this is Irvin. He just loves to talk.
Yeah.
Hey, wait,
I
okay.
can
and
see
not-
that.
Not just the talking, but like also the editing stuff. I mean, it has been sort of my career now.
It's
So
his passion.
inspirational.
Okay, since you
See,
guys
this is
brought
why.
up like
This is why.
yes,
It's
go
like,
on.
what?
This is why.
Oh, me? No, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
This is
you.
I was
why
waiting
he
for
is.
Jacob.
He's the answer to your question. He just
Yes.
loves this whole thing.
Okay, you
Please
guys
proceed.
mentioned earlier
Yeah.
that there's this memorable experience you will never forget, like an episode where you forgot to record the whole episode. Is that like one memorable experience with Enderun Unmuted? If not, what are like other memories you will never forget during your podcast recording? And how did you guys figure out who was fit for the position, especially to Kuya Irvin?
Well, okay, let's start with the first one. I think Kyla was passionate to talk about it a while ago, so
Which one? Oh,
the episode where we
okay. So what happened that fateful day is that Irvin wasn't at his usual, like you see his red setup right now, that he wasn't there. And so like he had this whole technical thing. He tried to explain it to us, but it just like went away from us. But anyway, we were doing the whole podcast. I think it was with
Lara.
Lara or
Lara.
Anya. Yeah. I think we were talking with her about leadership and like something like that.
College.
And we were towards the end of the podcast. We were literally doing the closing, and Irvin suddenly clapped his hand over his mouth. He gasped. We were like, huh? What is it?
So
What
funny.
happened? And then Irvin was like, it wasn't recording. And our faces were like pure shock because that was like, what, an hour and a half
Mhm,
of
it was.
talking that was not recorded. And it
He's
was
so
so
ashamed.
good. And it was
It
so
was so
good,
good.
right? That episode
so
was
good.
so good. And so we were like, okay, what should we do? Like I was close to like strangling her. No, I'm kidding. But like,
I was
I
strangling myself too.
She
but
was
like
so mad.
I know, but still, at that time, like, what could you do? It was already done. So I was like, okay, let's just like we asked Lara if she would be willing to do it again, and she was G, thankfully, you know. And so we just tried to remember what we said, and we just did it again. Because like, what else could you do? Like, blame Irvin for? I'm still blaming him until now. But like, at the moment, like, there was nothing you can do but just go ahead with it and like forgive him, forgive. But yeah. So that was it. I don't know. That was my.
it's still a success.
hmm
I guess.
Yeah. The second time around, it was still pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. it
But
was.
like we were recording. I mean, we were getting ready from like 5 p.m. or 4. Then we ended recording like what 10, 11. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So like that
We
was
had to
tough.
do it all over again.
I hope you
I
guys
don't know.
didn't experience something like that.
I hope we don't.
I hope we don't. That's why we do
Imagine
a
this
mic.
episode if that happens now.
Yeah, you're
No,
gonna
Well,
be
at
please.
least you
unmuted.
have someone like Prin who's like
Yes.
dedicated
That
for
is
recording.
true.
Oh, she's
No, I'm
caring.
not dedicated.
What are you trying to
I
say,
like how you
Kyla?
guys are
No,
throwing so much
no, I
shade.
meant.
This would
So
be a
much
perfect
shade.
opportunity
No, I think what Kyle's trying
to
to
show
say
you
is like,
guys how much nicer I was than Kyla. Because she was so mad that day. And I was like, Irvin, it's okay. Don't feel bad.
No,
And I was
no,
messaging
it
Kyla,
was
like, Kyla, stop attacking him. He feels guilty. And this is why Kyla is the least favorite host by the guests.
I
I'm
think I
just
have a
kidding.
final verdict now.
I'm just gonna
But
stop
hey,
talking.
how did
No,
you
but that
figure
was.
out?
we always end in
Oh no, I would say
battles.
that was a very traumatizing time. We did try to play it cool, but as Kyla said, we just had to do it. We just had to finish it, and it ended up being still a pretty good episode. Um, yeah, that is the end of the story.
I could just imagine what your initial reactions were.
I
Wait,
mean,
I just wanna follow up on Wency's question. Did you consciously choose people you were already comfortable with when you were putting together the podcast? Because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you guys were all like friends even before Enderun Unmuted became a thing, right? So, yeah, was that a factor in choosing the people you wanted to work with?
well, at
Oh my
first,
god.
okay, I think the others could answer this later too. But like at first, um, actually it was I made a group chat of me, Jacob, and Kyla, and then I was like, hey, do you want to create a podcast something? And then we were making up names like Titans Radio, Titans or something like that.
Oh my god, we're
Oh,
gonna
I'm
start this
allowed to
now.
say that. I'm
That
sorry.
one.
You can't
Why did
you
you
can
say
bleep
that?
that out.
Now we have to record the whole thing again.
You can bleep that out. But
He has the most outtakes.
hey, it's okay. It's not. It could be something, especially in the medieval times, right?
What do
I'm
you
trying to
think?
look for that group chat. I think it still
It
exists.
can. It can. Like a Titan's roar back then, and
Yeah.
then that was around 2020 because we started 2021 with the unmuted thing. But the other like Ishi, Bea, and Chloe actually they chose to be part. So like that's what's better, right? Because like okay,
Kind of
Bea, I
shoehorn
think
themselves in.
Can I say something?
yeah, go
Like,
ahead.
I want to
I
join.
can already
Can
tell
I say
Bea.
something?
Go Bea.
Okay, originally the plan was supposed to be Irvin, Kyla, Ichi, and Jacob.
Yes.
And then I
that
was
one.
like, what about Chloe and I? And then Irvin was like, okay, let's bring Chloe in. And I was like, what about me? So I had to personally message Irvin. I was like, Irvin, what about
know
me?
this.
Are you
Wait.
leaving me out? And then I was like, say, can I please like just give me like a different role? Like you don't need to give me like a special role. Just give me something so that I can be part. So that I'm not alone. Anyway,
Okay, but like at that time, I didn't invite Bea because
he
she
hated
was
me.
the president of the whole senior high school. So like it would be weird,
She
right?
was
Like
busy. Yeah.
like you're the president already. Why would I invite you into this new org that
Well, because
is-
I'm very talented. As you can see, we were very
Mhm.
successful in the first season of Enderun Unmuted. With the content Chloe and I come up with. See?
That's true. So yeah, and then with I don't know. I think maybe with a perfect position. I mean, I think Ishi was like I don't know. I think Ishi is really good with like creativity with art and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh.
And then she has this video software which costs like 15,000. So like, hey, come on in. I just used Ishi by the way. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
why not use Ishi and her 15,000 editing hours?
I'm
So you
kidding.
got her for
No,
her
it's really
software.
I was waiting for the
I'm
Ishi
kidding.
slander.
Well, yeah, no, Ishi's really great with like all the work, especially since we were busy that time. We edit on I don't know. I think before the day usually and stuff like that. So yeah, and then with the hosts, I think Kyla and Jacob were the ones I talked to most in campus. But like I think it's the no like in I don't know. No, I talked to everyone here, but like I don't know. I don't know why I approached them first. I think Destiny did. I'm kidding.
I think I was first before Kyla.
There's favoritism.
No, I was. Wait, who was first?
Of course, it
Irvin.
was
Pretty sure it would have been me. And if the answer isn't me, I'm gonna be hurt.
No, because I remember we were in a call and then you said something about wanting to start a podcast,
yeah.
and that was before Jacob. This was me.
I think I already
No.
mentioned that.
No, I was like in a separate call with
Sorry,
Irvin
guys.
before, and then he brought this up. And then, we were trying to decide who could the third person be. Would Kyla do this? She might be mean and not do it. So yeah,
He
Kyla and
almost
I don't have
didn't
much of a
want
story.
to host with us. I think, right, Jacob? Almost didn't want
Yeah.
to.
I think both of us were hesitant at first. I think I said that if Kyla was gonna do it, then I would do it too. I think that's what happened.
Yeah. So like
Oh.
that's about it, guys.
Nothing special.
That was special to me.
Okay, sorry.
It was too.
Every
to
moment
me.
with Unmuted is special.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Sure.
Okay. So moving on. Okay, I'm just curious because looking back, like knowing what you know now, what is one thing that you would do differently? Like in terms of the guests you invited or how you handled yourself, the topics, or practically anything pertaining to EU. Like any one of you from the group can answer.
Oh, maybe in
Let's ask like
guests, Bea.
Chloe first.
Yeah.
Then Bea.
Me?
Since content,
I'm still thinking. Bea, why don't you go?
Okay.
Something that we wanted, like we can change. Was that the question?
Yes. Looking back, would you have done anything differently?
Maybe I would have been more organized with like handling the host, because like in our script it's kind of messy in the document. So
Would you
maybe
guys
I would have forced them to be organized. But other than that, everything is good either way. So maybe that's the only thing I want to kind of change.
We're kind of holding in our thoughts to what you just said.
Because you guys are messy. So as your mother hen, I have to
Okay,
align my
we'll
children.
take it.
Yeah, that's something I'm willing to change.
Chloe, go.
Actually, they already put it towards like mostly the script. Like even though we didn't have like a specific like, it was just more of like an outline because we wanted the entire conversation to flow as genuinely as possible. And but I think so there were some parts wherein we would go off track or we would, how do you say this? We would have like awkward pauses in between. So I think so that's something that we would like I think we would like improve on rather. So yeah.
And I think it's also the same for us. We're also messy in the document.
think, right?
It's a constant team who arranges everything, and we're also messy as a host. Yes. Moving on to the next question. Working together in times where everything seems like to be disorganized and messy, just what like you mentioned a while ago. How did you work as a team and segregate friendships from professional life without burning bridges? I think this is something that's very hard to do, like setting boundaries. It's easy to set boundaries, but to actually implement them, it's challenging. So, what did you guys do as a friend, as a friendship and a team in your professional life?
I
We
burned my
go.
bridges with these people long time ago. I'm kidding.
No, for Kyla, like there's no bridge to burn for Kyla. No, but I think everyone could answer this. So I think Ishi should start off. Yay,
So
I'm
Ishi,
excited.
yeah?
Yes.
I
Yes,
don't
Ishi.
know. Did we even ever fix?
No.
We just worked with the mess that we had, and it all worked out. Joke.
Oh my gosh, that's a lesson for today.
Of the day.
Okay, I think we were trying to think of a way to spin it more positively, but the truth is, we kind of really were messy, but it worked. But that's because we knew each other. So I think it kind of just has to depend on your relationship with the people you're working with. We were messy, but it worked. Like what Bea was saying earlier with our outline scripts, like we were also very messy with our documents. If you guys were able to see it, but it worked because we had a good relationship because we were friends.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry, go.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah, I was gonna call on you, Kyla.
Okay.
Messy.
No, but yeah, like Jacob said, we were messy. But then I think in this sense, like in our team, the friendship is kind of like something we didn't need to segregate because it's something that really helped us work together as a team. I think if we segregated it, we wouldn't have gelled as well together because then it would have been like really like we had to mind the boundaries and stuff like that. I think the friendship is what really like helped us work better. And like what do you call this? I think in terms of like not because I know of course there's a risk that if you guys are friends then somebody's gonna get offended and you're gonna I know, but I think it's also a note of like not taking things too personally. Like this is a project and you want everybody wants everything to go smoothly. So if somebody says something, it's for the interest of the project. It's for the interest of everyone. So you shouldn't take it too personally. Like, if I suggest something and Irvin's like, no, that's not good, I'm not gonna be like, I hate Irvin, like in my head.
No,
I'm
he
like,
is like just say.
I'm gonna be like, okay, why is it not good? Just explain it to me and then I'll fix it. Like
Kyla and I would tag team on Urban, basically.
no, but like it's not too deep. It's like getting to the point where this is work. It's not that personal. Like you really have to like keep your personal emotions away from that. Otherwise, you're really gonna get too invested and just like blow up into this whole mess of having to burn a bridge. So yeah, Irvin.
I mean, for me, wait, going back to what Bea said again with the disorganized scripts. I mean, we really, I think that's what the essence of unmuted is, right? Like, you don't prepare. I mean, maybe you prepare an outline, a script, or something, but like, I don't know. I think some of you are writing in the docs right now because those were my faces. Like, I can
We
see,
Oh my
know
like,
we
gosh,
know
I
the
don't
look.
know that.
We know.
We know
no,
the
we
look.
know.
I
We know,
We
like,
know the
yo,
look.
yo, you're next. Okay, you say this. Something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, I got called
Why do
out.
you gotta expose us like that?
Yes,
hey, it
don't
happens.
expose us.
It's
You
okay
know, I
because
had to fix
Fine.
my face. Bea told me. She messaged like, Kyla, fix your face. Halata na you're typing. And I'm like, okay.
Oh my god,
That's
I
so
remember
true.
no,
Prince.
it's so
She
That
funny.
is
was
so
way too
true.
serious.
It's so funny. You're gonna type,
Irvin
and
would
then we're gonna
sometimes
say
say, "Can you
something.
guys
You're
look
thinking,
happy?"
Yeah.
And then you see Kyla smiling all of a sudden.
Literally print to us. That's basically print to us.
Yeah, it's Prince. I was like, she's
We
smile,
shouldn't say
guys.
it
It's
so
I'm like, we
bad.
do look happy.
yeah, but wait. Okay, aside from the thingy, I mean, with the outline and the scripts, I think we're messy because we chose to be messy. I think, right? I mean, you
You
wouldn't.
chose to be messy.
I'll
You
say
Yeah,
made
that
it
thing.
be
like
messy.
we just want to really like stand with the word unmuted, right? Because like if there's scripts everywhere and everything's prepared, and then it wouldn't feel like unmuted, like like no script at all, or like just no natural. So like that's where we went through, and I think everyone followed, right? Because we didn't fix that method or something.
Yeah,
And
we
then with the friendships and professional life, I think there was no segregation like from being friends and being professional because unmuted was built off of friendship, really, not just like really let's say a formal organization or like a really professional way of portraying it to other entrant students too. So like there was really no segregation, and we just I don't know, we worked as friends that are really professional too. So like we know how each other work, except for Kyla because she was in a different section back then. But like since Kyla and
That's true.
Jacob, but like it worked out. So there was really no segregation, and everything was messy, but it was organized chaos for me, I think. Right. So
Yeah,
Can I
I
add
was
on
gonna
to
add
that?
to that. Oh, sorry.
okay.
You want to go ahead, Bea?
Okay, let me say this fast. Okay, but like as friends, we know each other's capabilities in working. So
Flaws
um
too.
we know each other's capabilities, we know each other's work ethics, so we know that we can easily depend on a specific person. So like if I tell Ishi you need to make this pub mat, she would instantly do it and give us a really good output. And with Irvin, like Irvin fixed the outlines and everything. We know each other's work ethics, and we know how to stay professional, and we also know how to, be playful at times. And majority of our
At
meetings, it's more
times,
of
all the time.
at times. Majority of our meetings, we would always, we would just have fun. It's like our stress relief. Like, because we were in grade 12, we were graduating students applying to colleges and stuff like that. So we were really busy with everything. So Enderun Unmuted became our stress ball. Stress ball.
Stress
I
ball.
don't know why is that ball. Stress ball.
This is the greatest
Stress
reality
relief.
that's ever lived in Unmuted. It's our stressful guys.
I should be a highlight. You should put me in highlight. Stress ball.
Stress ball.
Bea.
But yeah, that's for me. Okay, Jacob, your turn.
No, I mean, I was basically gonna say what you said. Also, the fact that I think in podcasting in general, not that I'm a pro, but just based on experience, I think what Kyla was mentioning about we didn't really have that much of a boundary because I think that's just how it works best. Because the primary part of doing the podcast is like having a really good connection and talking with the people you're with. So in that regard, the lack of a boundary worked really well. Ishi, do you have anything to add to that? Just throwing it under the bus.
Thanks a lot.
I think Ishi hated me.
No, I did
Oh,
not.
no, Ishi was the one you would go to when we needed something done. 'Cause
No, but
she,
Until really was like what got me closer to Vin. So thank you.
Wow.
Aww.
Aw.
Talk about segregation.
Ishi, that's where there needs to be boundary there.
How about Chloe?
Literally, honestly, I have nothing because everyone really summed it up really well. Honestly,
Sorry.
like it's
Sorry,
okay.
we like to talk.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
Okay.
No, but
Literally,
okay, disclaimer before anybody says anything bad. Sometimes segregation between friendship and professionalism is important. Don't get it from us that it's
Definitely.
not. But in terms of this podcast, because it's the structure of this podcast that made it so that that segregation wasn't
And our
needed.
friendships.
Yeah, and our friendships. But of course, in professional settings, there has to be
Yeah,
a segregation. I don't want any
Yeah.
teacher like coming after us and saying
No,
anything bad.
definitely,
But
yeah. We're kind
There
of
you
just a
go.
special case. It worked out really well somehow. Urban kind of just, picked us up and put us together. And it worked. But yeah, there's your answer. Your really long answer.
Chloe was saying something, I think.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
no,
I am
literally,
so sorry.
girl. Everyone summed it up quickly. I have nothing to say because all of the thoughts. See, friendship.
Yes, friendship. But for a relationship.
Yes, but yeah.
Alright, so I take that as the last answer unless someone last answer to that question unless someone wants to chime in. In
I
three,
just I want to chime. I just want to say I feel like the biggest difference between you guys and like the current EU team was that you met each other like before the lockdown happened. Like with us, like the current team, we only started like we started like seeing each other. We only met each other through online. It's like, what reason I mentioned earlier when Wency hit us up, we weren't really that familiar with each other yet.
Nice.
So that really made it like, I guess, in a way a bit more challenging. But I mean, looking back at it now, I think it all worked out because here we are 10
We have
episodes in.
harmony.
right?
Yeah,
Even Rob
exactly.
is me right now.
What?
What? Sorry, what?
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 Alright, moving on to the next
What?
question. Alright, so for the future, this is for the future. What is your advice to the current team of Enderun Unmuted? And what would you like to say to the future gen? Future gen? Oh my god, we're graduating. Future gen of Enderun Unmuted. And anything else you'd like to keep as tradition within EU? Like something that we need to keep on going. Keep on going. Frick. Yeah. You guys get the gist.
We did. Wow.
Who wants to answer this first? Because
Let's make Irvin answer
this
last.
question, like a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
What advice can we give Irvin?
Let's make Irvin answer last. Let's have someone else.
Okay. Let's start with Bea, because I know she really wants to.
Okay,
Yeah.
like my only advice to the current and the future Enderun Unmuted members is that to stay passionate and to live, laugh, love.
Oh, Bea.
I just had to bring that in. No, but like
She could
Man.
not say that
In-
today.
in all seriousness, is to stay passionate. Like it doesn't have to be even an Enderun Unmuted. It's like to just stay passionate about something that you like, and also don't lose your inner childhood. And being creative is also something to never. Hopefully, no one loses. Does that make sense? But yeah, like my only advice is that take everything one step at a time, and still try your best to produce the best outputs that you can give throughout your career, throughout your life, basically. So yeah, to stay passionate, still be creative, and never lose your inner childhood. Because yes, also live, laugh, love in any situation. I just had to bring that in. Yeah, that's my advice for future. And
I would like to go next. I finally thought of something. So, but aside from what Bea said, I think In terms of the traditions, I guess my advice would be that I was actually talking to Irvin about this earlier. I think my advice to this would be to create your own traditions because, especially now that we're transitioning to face, I think you guys have more opportunity to record episodes in person, which
Yeah.
we didn't get to do sadly, and that's something I regret. I don't know if regret's the right word, but it's really unfortunate. I wish that we had more time with Unmuted. Because if you think about it, it wasn't really that long, at least from what I remember. And so, yeah, make your own traditions and Kyla.
No,
Sorry, I lost my train of thoughts.
like
Thoughts.
Chloe or Ishi, do you have anything?
Well,
Well,
for me, I'd say don't be afraid to experiment because I feel like a lot of the time, I guess with creating, you'd think that sticking to one thing would be, what's best for, I don't know how to word it, but what's best basically. But changing things up a little could help. And I guess in terms of life, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. So is what I'm trying to say.
Right, I guess I'll go next. I'm really bad. I'm horrible at giving advices, but anyways, but basically what I noticed a lot with you guys, especially at even at the start of this podcast, is how even though you guys just met purely virtually, and maybe you guys have also met in real life, your friendship, like your energy is just it. I just admire the energy. So what I could say is just to continue being yourself and like how do you say this? Like stay grounded with who you are because nobody else can change that. Wow, cheesy. Anyways, but
So deep.
yes, very
Yeah, it's
deep.
very
So inspirational joke. But yes, that's all I could say, honestly. But just keep being you guys. Continue to be yourself. Yes.
okay. I think I'll go next. Okay. I think my advice is to just have fun, really, with what you're doing. Because, like Bea said, this podcast. I mean, when we were still doing it, it was kind of like a stress ball. You know, I didn't really feel like I was working. Maybe because I didn't like talking, but I didn't really feel like I was working when I was doing the podcast, and I think that's what just made it so much better. Of course, excellence always. You don't want to get too fun with it that you lose the structure completely. But then I think having fun and making good friends along the way, because that's what you guys have done, like having good relationships with the team is just super important for the final product, because you can really see it. Like if you're not having fun and you guys are awkward like with each other, like the hosts, it's gonna show on camera and it's not gonna be fun to watch. So basically that's my advice. It's to have fun. And as for the traditions, yeah, like what Jacob said, like we're getting out of the pandemic finally. Thank God. And so like you guys have to really think about how this is gonna translate to like face to face, and if it's even gonna have the same structure again. So basically, yeah, have fun and be creative with what you guys are gonna do next. And I think Irvin is bubbling up to speak. I mean, this is his legacy. You can see it in his face. He's so proud. So go ahead, Irvin.
what? Okay.
She's
Well, wait, are we
crying.
ending already? Kidding. But like, my advice to the current team of you guys. I mean, you guys started off September, and like what Chloe said, you guys shared like you just met guys virtually, and that is very tough when it comes to especially like in a podcast perspective, because if you're gonna talk for a whole hour with a person you really haven't like known personally, it's really hard, right? Because like what are you gonna talk about? What are you how do you even know what this person is trying to say is something like that? Because like right in a podcast sense, um you know what to say, so like the other person can catch you off of that. Like with Jacob, Kyle, and me, we had that sort of chemistry. But aside from that, you guys, I mean, you guys are doing well. So like, advice to you only is to like continue on what you're doing now, And of course, there's always room for improvement and all of that. But you guys are insane. You guys are doing very nice, and I think we're all proud of you. Just to say that, and you guys grew. I mean, we were six now. How many are you in a team? Uh,
8.
eight. So like,
Eight.
right, more
Yes.
people. So it's better now. And I think, like what Kyle and Jacob said, like it's the end of pandemic now. I think you need to make that group bigger because you have a lot more opportunities. You know, you can record off in Enderun campus and stuff like that. And if you need help, we're gonna help you set up with that also and stuff like that. So like there are so many things to like work on also. But yeah, you guys are great. And with the future of the of Enderun Unmuted, I think that's on to you guys. And I think we all here can trust you like what you're gonna say to the next one because I think they're gonna, they're lucky to have you guys as their previous batch of Enderun Unmuted, and yeah, and with the tradition, I
No
think
pressure.
I don't know, we didn't have a tradition. Just stay unmuted and stick to like the purpose of Enderun Unmuted is to really be the voice of not just the Enderun students but also to the people like us around the world. So yeah, stay unmuted,
Tho-
guys.
Those were really uplifting. Thank you so much for. We're actually lucky to have you
Cheers.
guys as our seniors. Like we can't thank you enough for trusting us again for this and you're muted. Really appreciate you for giving us your time today. Especially we know that you're in college and it's really hectic. Are there any last words from my fellow hosts, Reese and Rafa? I think that's
I
on.
just want to add to what Wency said. I'm also really thankful that you guys managed to make time you guys managed to spend time with us today. Like, as Wency said, we know how busy, how much you guys have on your plate. College life, that ain't easy. So, we really appreciate your spending time with us this evening. And yeah, we hope to see you guys around.
Rafa's gonna cry. Look, he's about to cry. Rafa, don't cry. Rafa, don't
But
cry.
to continue where Rafa left off, yeah, again, not to be that person, but yes, we are very grateful to have you guys as our seniors. We would be very lost without you guys from first episode and to see where we are now. This definitely wouldn't have been possible without the help of you guys as our seniors. It's been really helpful, and honestly, Enderun Unmuted wouldn't be the same without you guys. So once again, thank you on behalf of Enderun Unmuted. I say this for the whole team, all eight of us, even if Chevy isn't here. Chevy, if you're here in spirit, we love you. And so, yeah, I guess that's it. Now we'll be moving on to my favorite part of, well, at least for me, my favorite part of the podcast, which is the key takeaway. So, Rafa, take it away.
I just want to say I really had a lot of fun. I don't know if you could tell from the smile, from my face. Like I've been smiling since the start. I really had so much fun doing this episode in particular. Like it was really refreshing to hear the stories and experiences of those who came before us. One of the things that really stuck to me is how each one of us is different, and it's these differences that can really inspire creativity and somehow add that spice to what we're doing. In this episode alone, we saw how diverse the personalities of our guests were, especially during the icebreaker portion. And yeah, while they seem very different from one another, collectively they just, somehow click. So if there's one thing I
Indeed.
really realized from today's episode is the importance of embracing and really staying true to who we are. It's important to note that each one of us has a unique thing to bring to the table. Like, for example, in this podcast alone, I'm the nice one who like balances out the meanness of my two other co-hosts over here. So
Excuse
yeah,
me, Rafael Batok.
Very debatable. That's like up on the table right now.
We are not me.
yeah, but I don't cap though. So yeah. Jokes aside, we must remember that being different isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's actually these differences that, makes us unique. So yeah, that's just my takeaway from this portion. What about you, Reese? Do you have anything you'd like to share or add?
Of course. Actually,
Not disagree, by the way. Not disagree with what I said.
No, don't worry. Actually, I do have to agree with Rafa. My takeaway for this episode is something really similar. So we do tend to treat, or we have the tendency rather, to treat extracurricular activities as something very obligatory, something that we have to have a switch, like this switch, like you have to switch to this whole professional thing. And I guess from Unmuted or Enderun Unmuted, it isn't something that's really applicable as the recurring theme, I guess, that we've noticed from the Q&A session is it's really important to stay true to yourself, and you don't really necessarily need that whole shebang of shebang. What am I saying? Um, you don't really need that whole facade of being this professional, well put together person. Not just as a host, but as a team. It doesn't necessarily need to be that that well structured. It's something, as they said, the highlight of this episode is at the BMA. That stress ball when it comes to your academics and other responsibilities, because Unmuted is supposed to be something fun, essentially fun, although it can get stressful at times. It's essentially your fun, your way to voice out um, to the senior high school community, and in order to do that, you do have to be true to yourself, even if that means, I'm so sorry, I guess it's too late to say this because we're ending the episode, even if that means your dog's sister and your sister is all over the place. So
I
I know that you guys saw that, and I'm so sorry. But hello to my sister who's in the background.
You're not alone, Reese. I also wanted my back. But also my takeaway for this episode is that as we all can see, it's the friendship that helps build something great.
It's the 10th episode and we're still going on strong. I'm so happy for us despite everything that has happened this whole school year. It's definitely been a roller coaster ride. So to all the Titans listening, or maybe the people outside of Enderun, don't forget to follow us on social media at Enderun.unmuted and at Enderun on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yeah, if there's anything you want us to talk about, feel free to reach out by sending us a message. Unfortunately, we are now muting again. Thank you for tuning in with us, and see you all in our next episode. Bye, guys.
Rafa, you have to reply to me.
Where?
Guys, stop flirting with each other on camera. I mean, on screen. Stop. Stop that.